and go live on Facebook. All right, my friends, welcome to the Jerry Banfield Show. Today we're playing Family Guy on Xbox 360. This was the Family Guy game that was on Xbox One, or not Xbox One, the original Xbox, the first Xbox, which ought to be called Xbox One, but for some reason the third Xbox is called Xbox One. So anyway, we played, this is the fourth time we've played Family Guy, the video game. The last 3 times we played were really fun. Rocking a trench coat, sunglasses, and a shirt today. It's like 62 out in the office. 65, 63. It's a little cooler than usual, so I thought, let's have some fun with it. You know, throw the blue sunglasses on. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. The Awakened Satan within Christ. I got some funny names. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Deadbeat Gamer 420. D-Mania 1998. Nice to see you today. Wait, those 4,000 were waiting for the DVD sign at the corner of the screen? Alright, thank you. I was wondering. Hey, what's up, Summer Sparkle Knox? Joshua Knox's wife's first comment on TikTok. Let's go. Yeah, I was wondering, like, there were 4,000 people watching this TikTok stream earlier today. And they're waiting for the DVD thing to hit the corner of the screen. I'm like, what is gonna happen? I'm like, this is all so fake. Oh, is there gonna be a giveaway or something? Hey, thank you, Demon on Deck Gaming dropped a bunch of gift subs. Where did that alert go? How many did Demon on Deck Gaming drop? Jasmine, thank you for the share. Where's the notification? I just saw a bunch. Demon on Deck Gaming sent 10 more gift subs. Let's go. I'm glad I could help you grow your stream a little bit last night. Thank you for the 10 more gift subs. Demon on Deck Gaming, thank you. Lisa, you were pretty close to first, if not first. Man, they're hitting me up. Hey, thank you, Adam. Caught that gift sub. Lisa, Peter, how you doing today? Who else is here to give a shout out? Looks like Lisa was the very first today. Nice work, Lisa. Oh yeah, give me that health. I forgot all the controls and special stuff you can do, so we'll just button mash. We'll button mash. Jamie, thank you very much for the... Oh my god, did Demon on Deck Gaming send 10 more gift subs? Am I seeing that correctly? It's not a duplicate. Dude, they whooped Peter's butt. Hey, there's actually 13 people on TikTok right now. Demon on Deck Gaming just dropped $100 worth of gift subs. Could we get... I don't know. Do whatever you want. I'm like, whoa. Demon on Deck Gaming dropping gift subs like, whoa. Peter in this outfit looking like a tramp like, whoa. I forgot how to use these controls like, whoa. Kick him while he's down like, whoa. Thank you, Demon on Deck Gaming, for 20 gift subs. Thank you for the hashtags for Jamie and for Demon. What's up, Zach? John? The Remedy. I'm doing great this morning. I'm gonna go visit my friend in Orlando today. And go have some fun. Stay overnight. I haven't been on an overnight trip without my family for years. Probably at least 3 years. I don't get around. Hey, thanks. How'd you find the stream on TikTok if you're watching on there? The main place people are watching is on Facebook Gaming, YouTube, and Twitch. Thank you, Jamie, for the huge gift sub drop. My goodness. It's kind of awkward for me sometimes. I try and give back to as much as I can. And in a way that's best for everybody. I shared Jamie's stream last night. And I'm glad that so many of you came in to say hi and drop follows.
I don't kiss on the mouth. I can't.
Peter said I don't kiss on the mouth. My wife says that sometimes too. It's like no kisses. Josie, nice to see you today. How you doing? What's up, Matt? You gotta go to work today? Cool. Hey, what's up? Who is that? Jonas? On TikTok? Let's go. I'm glad actually, even if just a few people come in on TikTok, that's worth it. You know, it's worth doing something versus nothing. What's up, Aaron? Nice to see you today. Trackstar TV, I'm very grateful. Jamie with Demon on Deck Gaming dropped a fortune in gift sub supporters, $100. I was saying it's a little awkward for me sometimes in giving back, like, because people text me like, hey dude, I'll pay you to share my stream. I'm like, if it's just a sponsored share, you know, I want to make sure I'm sharing something that people actually enjoy. I really need to get to know you as a creator. But sometimes I err on the side of, well, I just won't share anybody's stream, so I don't have to say, you know, I'll just say no to everybody. Sometimes it's a little awkward to figure out how to give back to people. Last night I'm like, I know Demon on Deck Gaming would appreciate if I dropped a share for him, so let's go ahead and do that. I have learned to don't just kind of take money from, you know, there's got to be more of a component than just money for stuff. But it's also natural in life to give to the people who give you the most. Like my wife and I have given each other probably back and forth like $100,000. You know, it's natural to give the most to the people who give to you. So I'm very grateful. Demon on Deck Gaming sends so much here. And I do whatever I can to help him out.
You bastard!
Hey, what's up, Big Savage Gaming? Nice to see you today. Giggity giggity, alright! Giggity giggity giggity! Dude, hey, what's up, Nick? Nice to see you today. I'm not sure what I'm having for dinner. I'm going to visit my friend in Orlando. I don't know what we're gonna go eat. A part of me is a little scared, too. Because, you know, just going into the unknown is exciting, but sometimes a little scary. I read the craziest thing last night. I don't have the book with me right now.
Oh crap!
But the book is called Ceres Colony Cavalier. The guy, oh, all right, this is, I'm glad. Thank you for that wave of gift subs. Thank you for the huge waves of like dropping in on the stream. Chris, what's up, Chris? I read the craziest thing. This book I'm reading, it's called Ceres, as in C-E-R-E-S. Ceres Colony Cavalier. It's only in print on Amazon. It just came out. It was independently published. This is the wildest book I've ever read in my entire life. I've read thousands of books. Let me tell you about this book. A Good Guys Gaming, Good Gaming says, what's with the resolution? Vertical works better for me on Facebook Gaming. It goes out real nice in the news feed, and I like that I can get my I can pop my big head up on there. I really like that. Oh, Lord! Chris Smith is blowing it up. Slim Tates just dropped 10 gift subs as well. Holy cow. Holy shit. Chris, thank you for the huge... Dude, they killed me. That's rude. Hey, Big Savage, I'm glad you were in there for the star drop. Thank you. I'll tag you, everybody in the chat. Demon, let me tag Demon on Deck Gaming and Slim Tates. Teamed up again for a massive gift sub drop. For 20 gift supporters, and Slim Tates, you gotta spell it exactly right. And then it'll come up. There we go. For 10 gift supporters. Thank you. That's 30 gift supporters. It's so random with streaming. Like sometimes people give almost nothing, and then other times like today, that's 30 gift subs in like 10 minutes. It's nuts. That's why a lot of people. How do I do my special? I forgot how to do my special, but I'm gonna remember though.
Now with free bonus sets. Hey, stop it!
What was I saying? We need to talk about that book. I need to remember the controls. How do I do my special on this game? Hey, I'm glad you're all catching those gift subs from Chris. Oh, here we go. Let me look at the moves. Punch. Oh, there we go. Pimp slap. That's what I need in my life is pimp slap. Pimp slap. Yes. All right.
Those New York whores got nothing on this snack.
He said those New York whores got nothing on this snatch. Let's go. Melquan, nice to see you. What's up, Liam, Marshall, Brock? PJ, I'm glad you got that gift sub.
Anti-sex here.
Alright, check this out. I gotta tell you all this. This is wild. I'm reading this book called Ceres Colony Cavalier. Is the craziest book I've ever read. I've read thousands of books in my life. I've never read a book like this before. It's independently published on Amazon. And here's the basics. How do I do the special? There's a way to do the special. How do I do the special? I didn't see it. Moves? No, I don't want to load game. Sidekick, headbutt. Rufus special. There was a way to like use my special bar. That's what I'm trying to use. Alright, so alright, focus.
I'm boring.
Ceres Colony Cavalier. This is the most incredible book I've ever read out of thousands of books that I've read in my life. Alright, so this guy says that he was abducted as a child by a combination of humans and aliens, put into human slavery, trained and brutal methods to get his psychic powers to a point that you would think of as like a witch or, you know, Nostradamus or something. He was loaned to some drug runners in Peru who used him to help them see, like, you know, if the cops are gonna be there to make sure their drug running operation was successful. He was then returned to his owners and used as a sex slave until he was 16, at which point he was sold to the army. When he was sold to the army, they sent him to outer space, to the moon, first to go fight a war with bugs on Mars, like real-life Starship Troopers. And then he is sent to Ceres Colony by teleporting from Mars. And he says this is a true story. He was sent to Ceres Colony, and I believe it. He was sent to Ceres Colony from Mars on a train that went through a teleporter. And the Ceres Colony is on a planetoid in the asteroid belt, and it's a Nazi colony. The Nazis, according to a bunch of things I've seen, were able to make a space program by working with extraterrestrials, and they were able to make a base in Antarctica and on the moon, so the Allies were not able to completely eliminate the Nazis in World War II. So his name's Tony Rodriguez. He said they made them do Nazi oaths and had a Nazi flag and everything, and everybody spoke German, but there were Star Trek style translators. There was a replicator that made the food for them, and they were doing mining, and they were sent out to, like, he'd go on these missions. And the craziest thing in the book so far, he said they put them in line one day. That one day they had them get in line, all these, like, space Nazis, had them get in a line, and he volunteered for a mission because he said the work was so miserably boring that it was hard to even... Dante, thanks for this, Sarah. He said it was hard to even contemplate living. So he volunteered for anything just to get out of doing the same miserable, boring shift over and over again. And one day they lined them up. One day they lined them up for something to volunteer for. And there was like a line of, you know, maybe like 10 guys or something in the line. And there's this room that they're going into. And the one guy comes out screaming. He's like, "It's 10 years! It's 10 years! Don't go in there!" And of course the Nazi soldiers shut him up and made everybody back up in line. And he says they went in there. There were aliens that put him on a table. They stuck a needle in his eye, like some needles in his face to remove his soul, and they time traveled him. And he said he came back in time just a few minutes after he left. But he said he went in that room, was gone for 10 years, came back in some other body doing something else, which I haven't got to yet in the book. And then he said he came back in the room just a few minutes after he left. I'm like, that is one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my entire life, that you could walk into a room and essentially go on a 10-year time travel. I'm like, that legit scared me before bed. I'm like, this is a crazy universe we live in. He said he was routinely on time travel missions too, like where he would go do a full day of work and come back and it would only be 20 minutes after he left, like, because the ships use time travel drives. Basically, everything you've seen in Star Trek, Star Wars, all these space movies is based in truth. Like these guys like Gene Roddenberry and George Lucas, they didn't make this stuff up from scratch. They were actually told the truth about what really happens, and it's kind of a form of disclosure. So this book, my wife's like, that book might not be true. I'm like, you're right. It's possible it's not true. I believe it. I believe this book more than I believe the stuff they say on the TV and the news. I don't even watch that crap. I'm like, this is obvious lies right now. Like, obvious lies. I believe this stuff more than I believe the things that are mainstream. Like people saying, we might be alone on this planet. No way we're alone on this planet. It's called Ceres Colony Cavalier. It is so good. It's only available in paperback. It just came out within like a month ago. And what I love is it's blowing my mind wide open. I'm like, this is nuts right now. I think it's really valuable to have an open mind about what's possible too. And it's an encouragement to be specific. Like, I think I'd love to go on a UFO and explore space. Like, all right, but I do not want to go to the Nazi colony in the asteroid belt and get stuck mining for water in there. But he said they took a test in there. They took an aptitude test, and that if you passed the test high enough that you could be a commander. I'm like, yeah, I would have definitely got commander on that test. He said there was a gray alien that was administering these tests, and they would insult. The alien would telepathically insult him all the time. It'd be like, ah, you stupid monkey. Oh, let's see what you can do today, you baboon. Oh, you failed the test again. You suck. It's kind of funny. You'd hope that like an alien life form would be more spiritually advanced too, but I guess some of the alien life forms are just as in kind of the same spot as we are. How do I get out of this casino? These guys are like infinitely spawning right now. Do I need to take this guy out? All right, let me catch up on the chat. I've just been talking for a while. Dude, how do I? It says hit Y, but I'm hitting Y. It's not doing anything. Come on. There, I got some. They didn't drop any health. All right, we're working on this Family Guy. I don't know why it says Y. I hit Y and it doesn't do anything.
Hey, stop it!
I'm almost done with this last guy. Oh man. All right, let me read all the chat on here. Let me catch up on the chat. I got way behind. But sometimes you gotta go into a monologue. What's up, Austin? Nice to see you. John, thank you for watching on multiple devices. Plain Liker on Twitch. What's up, the Joltmeister? Slim Tates, thank you for the huge gift sub bomb and for watching on Twitch. We got Trackstar TV. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. Laura Crack Rock. What's up on Twitch? Yeah, and it says eliminate all enemies. All right, we're working on it. What's up, Brandon, Daniel, Jasmine, Dante, Jose, PJ Bailey, Rumbledore. Oh, really? Jasmine says Will Smith got told stuff he can't disclose before they made Men in Black. Men in Black to me is, Joseph, thanks for the share. Men in Black to me is based on true story. That's true story. What a lot of these movies are doing. Maxwell, thanks for the follow. A lot of the movies in our popular culture are based on... A lot of the movies in our popular culture are essentially indirect disclosures. Brandon, thank you for the 200 stars, Brandon. How do I do my special? There's some way to unload that yellow meter, but...
Hey, stop it!
Alright, I gotta find how to unload that yellow meter, because it'll do...
Ah, you bastard!
I don't remember my moves, man. One thing that's challenging when you play all these different games is remembering all the little moves you can do. There's a way you can make... Oh, how did I do that? How did I do that? I did this like underneath spin. How did I do that? Scroll, I did go up and down the moves list. It didn't, oh God, all right. I literally didn't scroll. All right, thank you. Thank God for that tip. Really appreciate it. Brandon, thank you for the 200 stars. First time you sent stars, my man. Oh no, I forgot on the YouTube and Twitch stream. Thank you for the reminder. I forgot on the YouTube and Twitch stream to minimize my head. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. All right, so we hold R and push B. Okay, that's what we're looking for. That's our special. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. You see how I'm doing that charge? Yeah, that's what we want to do. See that spin? That's eliminating them. He said, now with free bonus sex, let's go. This game is hilarious. Thank you for helping me get that fixed on Twitch and YouTube. From now on, I think I'm going to start the stream in the corner on Twitch and YouTube because I forget it. If you hate this vertical resolution on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, you can watch on Twitch and YouTube in horizontal. Dante says, I'm digging these shades. Where did you get those? I searched for colored sunglasses on Amazon. These are 10 bucks. It makes everything hella blue.
Typical white man.
RB button, press any attack to do a spin tag. Thank you. Thank you. We just got that. Thank you for the help, Julian. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and apparently all of our presidents are aware of the fact that there are extraterrestrials, and the ones who've tried to talk about it have been shot. For example, Ronald Reagan was going to open up about it, and they took some shots at him and said, you talk about it, we're not going to miss next time. Alex says, love your streams, thank you. Thank you for the 100. And John F. Kennedy, I hear, was assassinated because he was disgusted with the secrecy and the lying that he saw. John, when he got in the presidency, thought he was actually the commander-in-chief, and he realized that no, in fact, he was not in charge. And he was prepared to tell the public about it. And they killed him and killed Marilyn Monroe over it. And by they, I mean the deep state, the Illuminati, the cabal, however you want to look at it, the human beings that are working with the extraterrestrials and are actively keeping everybody suppressed and unaware of what I'm telling you about. And some people say that the Illuminati or cabal deep state is actually controlled by Satan himself, that Satan is a advanced being that has been enjoying ruling Earth for a long time. I would even argue that Satan made the religions for his own recruitment purposes. I mean, after you listen to what they tell you in church for long enough, you start thinking the devil's a good deal. That if you're going to hell anyway, you might as well have a good time on the way there. Yeah, it's the government you're not supposed to see.
Hey, stop it!
And to me, I talk about all this because to me the way out is ending secrecy. There are millions of government employees. There are 3 million people who have secret clearances. Classified secret and top secret clearances in the US alone. And they can be sent to prison for disclosing anything they know. And to me, what we need to do is stop all this secrecy. I mean, they'll rationalize it by it's national security. We can't.
I don't even know what
yeah,
I'm doing.
to me, security is a great cover. National security is a great cover for human rights violations, for outrageous things happening. And it's time we stop all this secrecy. And it's time we get out there and find out what's really going on. And as soon as we, the people, demand that the secrecy stop, you know, and the people who have secrets, as they're doing now, you know, if it is your duty to share these secrets to assist mankind in knowing the truth. Thank you for the 200 stars, Evan. Hey, yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. I'll be tricking on them kids. Like, you think you're coming in to watch a game and it's like, surprise! Conspiracy theory. And the only reason conspiracy theories exist is because we have lying and deception. There wouldn't be any conspiracy theories if there was truth at the collective level. There are some alien civilizations that their whole population knows the truth. We are not one of those civilizations. Our entire population has been greatly deceived on almost everything truly important. And I don't say that's wrong. I say that makes this experience interesting. That's what makes this little game of being a human fun. That's what makes it a good time. So I'm not saying and yes, maybe some people are evil, but evil has a purpose.
This is all on camera.
Evil makes our lives interesting. Thank you for the 200 stars, Evan. Brandon says, that's why I love your streams. The goal of my streams is always to entertain you, help you open your mind, teach you something new. You know, trigger some curiosity in you. I think our souls crave knowledge and expansion, and I want to see this planet.
I went to the disco.
I want to see humanity in.
There we go.
I want to see humanity. Almost all of us know that humanity is living in a time of deception and inequality, where most of us are told blatant lies by the people we trust, like our governments, companies, even our family members and friends. I hear there's some people on Earth that have what you might think of as a boring office job. They go through jump gates, which is a teleporter, that take them to Mars and other places to work. They go to work through these jump gates, go work in somewhere like Mars. Brandon, thank you for the share. Come home and hang out with their family and friends like nothing happened.
If you give me money, I will then make
Like, the secrecy we have right now is outrageous. It's insane. I mean, because you can literally conceal anything with the secrecy we've got.
Hey, stop it!
And that's why we need to really love ourselves, work on ourselves. And the more, what I found is, for me, cultivating truth within myself will allow me to be more sensitive to truth outside myself. Thank you for the share. So the more I refuse to have secrets, I am all about truth. The more I'm sensitive to that, the more I can essentially pick up a frequency of deception. And our mainstream media is full of the deception frequency. You know, most of what you're told, the purpose is to keep you afraid, to keep you compliant, to keep you in the Matrix, essentially. Like, all the movies like the Matrix are real. Almost all the stuff you've ever seen has reality.
This is all on camera.
Jump gates are like a teleportation device, yes. I've heard a bunch of stories of people that have personally been through them, or, you know, have been told by an insider that they have.
There we go.
And it's time to start finding out about all this stuff. Evan says, what's really behind those blue shades? And I hear that there's another story I heard. There was a guy, a doctor, who was recruited to work in one of these secret facilities. Now, just an ordinary facility, not like some, you know, somewhere like China Lake or something. But I think this one was in the desert. And this doctor was given little pieces of things to autopsy and just told to figure out what it was. At first, there were little salmon fillets. Then he started getting like bigger pieces of flesh and bones, and he eventually got entire full-size extraterrestrial dead bodies to autopsy. And he said over the course of his couple years in this job, he autopsied more than 2,000 different extraterrestrial bodies in this job. And then one day, he told one of his friends about it, and they became aware that he told his friend about it, the people he was working for, and they never told him anything about these bodies. They didn't say where they came from. They said, you are absolutely not to ask any questions about any of the stuff you see here. And he told one of his friends about it. The people he worked for found out he told his friend, and they fired him, and they said, if this, you know, if you do anything else, that'll be the end of you. And they gave him several ass whoopings as well to put the point across more fully. Like, why is this going on? Yes, Brandon says movies tell the truth right in our face, and that's movies. One reason movies like The Matrix and stuff are so popular is because the truth has been suppressed, and movies kind of fulfill our need to get a bit of the truth. And there are, not everybody kind of that rules things is evil and authoritarian. Like, you know, some people that have lots of power are trying to help humanity and want us to know the truth. And so some of these movies get out to better prepare us so that, let's say there is a day of disclosure, which I think we're moving towards, then, you know, who's even surprised? Like, of course there's aliens. Of course there's a Matrix. Like nobody's even surprised anymore, you know? Brad is telling you you're subscribed. I'm not sure what happened with that. If you get a gift sub, sometimes weird things can happen. Michael says you can use a deprivation tank with some THC and go to different dimensions. I'm about to use a sensory deprivation tank for the first time and not use anything with it. And I've been told that you don't have to even use anything. Just get in a sensory deprivation tank, and if your mind's open to it, you can go to these alternate dimensions yourself. So what I'm working on is making... I actually had a dream... Hey, thanks for becoming a supporter, Darren. I had a dream where I was the ambassador to Earth, and it was a very realistic dream. I think it was actually a projection from the future. I had a dream where I was an ambassador for Earth, and I was on another planet, and I was essentially trying to make a case for the people of Earth. You know, that we're ready. We're ready to more fully participate in the galaxy, and that we could use some help. You know, we're ready to not just be lab rats.
Hey, stop it!
Jordy says sensory deprivation is so cool. Nice. Luke says nice glasses. Thank you. Did somebody else drop more gift subs and I missed it, or are you all still claiming those ones that Slim Tates and Demon on Deck Gaming got sent? One reason I love talking about all this stuff too is lots of times we feel shame if we have these crazy stories, like that there's something wrong with us, and I'm telling you, this universe is very interesting. There's people with all kinds of crazy stories all over the place, and that's why it's important we have a radical refusal to keep secrets and a commitment to the truth. Dang, what's with all these supporters? Austin says, will you be returning to zombies? I don't know. I might do a throwback zombie one day. Jasmine says, Ambassador Banfield, can I have the job when you are done? This is a tough level with Peter. I've been getting smoked on this level.
On camera.
Oh, yes, health, health, health. There we go. Brandon says, Jerry Banfield for president. What I really want to do is make contact, more direct contact with the extraterrestrials myself, because right now, I've been relying a lot on,
There we go.
I've been relying a lot on other sources, and it's really nice to have this first-hand contact yourself. So I've had some dreams where I've been on other planets, which have been helpful for me because the dreams were just as realistic as this reality. And where I've seen like high technology, and I've never seen anything like it before in these dreams. I've heard that if you get a gift sub, sometimes it will mess up your regular sub. Dang, these arrows are like, dude, these arrows are brutal. I keep dying right there. All right, so here's how I look at it. Evil rules through power structures. Like, if Satan actually is the ruler of Earth, which I think is very possible, based on what I've heard from others, that Satan rules through power structure, where the ultimate top of the ladder goes all the way up to Satan. Like, that's Lucifer, Satan, a high dimension being. Like, that's where the power ladder ends. And that's why some people ask, like, why are people endlessly accumulating power and money? Like, all right, you've got $100 million company. Why do you need to sell it and make even more money? Well, people are trying to work their way up the power chain. To me, evil works through a power structure where everybody's essentially oppressed in the power structure and people are always trying to get up to the top of it. Whereas to me, good, there's no power structure. There's only equality with good. So in good or in God, there is no power structure. Every one of us is completely equal. So to me, the truest form of government would not have any leaders at all. Like an enlightened form of government, every person would be equal, and we would just all do whatever we needed to do each day to help each other out. You know, there'd be no president, there'd be no police officers. And some people say, well, that's real idealistic. That's not possible, though. There are civilizations living with this reality right now. There's millions of planets just in our galaxy alone that are occupied with intelligent life. There's thousands of different intelligent civilizations throughout our galaxy. And some of them are living at this level where they live in complete equality with each other. They live in complete truth and everything is shared among them. Everything is known among all people. Like, they live on a telepathic level. They don't need things like money. They just help each other out and try and help others out. Look at Jerry's sponsored for the blue light glasses. You said I should become a Family Guy streamer full time?
There we go. Take that, Mr. Pinata.
Oh, I actually broke this thing. Let's go. Brandon says the 3 stars of Orion's belt are home to 3 races of aliens. The Greys, who could care less about us. The Reptilians, who are shapeshifters and live underground. And we have a deal with them where we sacrifice people so they don't attack us. Then there's the Angelics, who give us technology and want to see us prosper. I've heard that exact same information. I love it, Brandon. I've heard that exact same information. That is so cool. That's what I've heard too. You got the gray aliens who are a lot like us. You got the reptilians who are we'd think of as very advanced, powerful telepathic beings, shapeshifters. You know, very nasty to deal with. And yeah, demand human sacrifice so that they don't wipe us out. And then you've got this race of beings, and then they're at war with each other. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Paige says this game's one of your favorites. Nice. This game has been one of the most successful streams I've done lately. The last Family Guy stream I did had over 200,000 views, and most of them were after I was live. Brad's been following for a while. Hey, Brad, I know you've been supporting for quite a while. That's what really matters. Did anybody else send gift subs?
I said go down.
Kemp, oh, dude. Kemp said, so is there a survival on these other planets?
You've won this
Our mainstream science alone has told us, our mainstream science by itself has made it a virtual certainty that there are 67, or that there are like 100 million inhabitable planets like Earth with intelligent life in our galaxy alone, because there's so many planets. Thank you for the share. What's up, Shane? Favier, nice to see you. Adam, nice to see you today. There's so many planets in our universe. Like, one thing that's hard for us to understand is big numbers. Well, basically, there are so many planets just in our galaxy. It's a virtual certainty that not only is there intelligent life, or not only are there planets just like Earth, but there's so many planets just like Earth that even if hardly any of them, like 1%, had intelligent life on them, that would mean hundreds of millions of planets with intelligent life on them. And according to the law of one, which according to the creators was given to us by very high-level beings that have been around that are like billions of years more advanced than us, they said that there's 67 million planets in our galaxy alone that are inhabited by intelligent life. 67 million planets in our galaxy alone that are inhabited by intelligent life. And there's beings that are so advanced they can go from one galaxy to another, too. Paige, I'm playing on Xbox One. John and Donovan, thank you for the shares.
What the deuce?
Man, we would just have been rocking the Peter Griffin level right here.
Aha! Bertram's secret lair. I must get
and this information said that 40.
I will need a distraction.
Turn off the metal detector. 40% of the intelligent life is humanoid. So, some of them very close in appearance to us. Others of them more bug-like, gray aliens, reptiles. But 40% of the intelligent life is humanoid. And that's all these stories about, like, God, a creator, telling us that we didn't evolve here. We didn't evolve on Earth. You know, the galaxy is full of life. It's like the galaxy is like your backyard. If you go out in your backyard, there's things that are alive. There's bugs all over in your backyard.
No mind to control?
Oh man, we fell right down there. Like, your whole backyard is full of life. And maybe it doesn't look like it all the time, but there's squirrels and stuff that come through it. You know, our galaxy's the same way. It's teeming with life.
I cannot mind control those I'm about to lose sight of.
Oh, we need to wait for her to come back. I love your game support, or I love your game suggestions. You want to see some Fusion Frenzy on Xbox?
Oh, to be the Lindbergh baby right
Christopher, thank you for the share, Christopher.
What are you?
Stop staring at me!
No mutants!
Oh, we need to get that in there. And the reason we've been given this "Are we alone" narrative has been to keep us collectively weak. Because when you're wondering, are you alone? Is there anybody else here? You've been given this narrative.
God, it's hideous! My eyes! My eyes!
You've been given this "Are we alone" narrative and is there extraterrestrial life and we don't know. You've been given that narrative because then when you're not even sure that anything exists, you're totally powerless over what actually is happening. I mean, like the husband who's going around cheating on his wife and telling her, you know, oh no, I don't even know her. You know, that, you know, like it's so obvious to somebody else, like, really. You know, if you saw the whole picture, but the wife could, and this could be any sex orientation, you know, gay guys, lesbians, the woman, but, you know, the obvious blatant lying, like, oh, I don't even know her. When, if you saw his whole life, you know, and then the wife is skeptical at home, but the truth is, the guy's out there fooling around.
Select me for your club due to my encyclopedic knowledge.
Has anyone heard of Stardust Ranch? I have not. John says,
You weren't such a loser.
when will aliens come out of existence?
Oh, that's it, man. Game over. I'm just gonna kill you all.
What I've heard is that So the negative ETs and negative humans, so to speak, that enjoy keeping us oppressed and are
That was almost completely
enjoy doing whatever they want to,
Apparently Bertram couldn't afford a
have
floor.
no intention of telling you what's going on, unless it can be manipulated. For example, to tell you, oh yeah, there's extraterrestrials and they're a threat. So we need to go to war against them. You need to sacrifice. You need to do all these things you don't want to do. That's the only way they are going to disclose
The armor on those turrets is
the existence to you. And that's kind of the narrative the media's working on right now. Ooh, look at these UFOs. Are they real? What's going on? And then the dark narrative to follow that up is, oh yes, they are real and they're a threat. And you need to give up all these things you care about, sacrifice, join the military, so that you can fight these evil aliens. When really, whoever's controlling the media, they're the evil ones that are keeping you suppressed. Like, they know exactly what's going on and aren't interested in, and just want you to kind of keep your head down and do what you're told. Because if you really knew everything that was going on, you would not be compliant. You'd be like, I'm not helping you do this. I'm not helping you fight wars on Mars that you haven't even told us about. There's Nazis that haven't been wiped out that you never said. You would not be compliant if you knew what was going on. So that's essentially the way the ETs could come out in the, you know, dark or satanistic agenda. And then there's the kind of light or positive agenda. And the way that happens is when enough of us make first-hand contact, just what I'm doing here, when enough of us are comfortable and prepared for this idea, then it's essentially, you know, the more of you that this doesn't seem like totally crazy, the more you are open to it and make contact yourself, you will know firsthand. And then you influence the people around you, you essentially wake people up from the control matrix, and you are able to convert, you know, you're able to stop this. So we're in the middle of a great galactic war right now, where the sides of good and evil are messing with our planet. And the evil certainly seems like it is prevailing in many aspects, but there's opportunity for, it only will take about 10% of us to be kind of at a level where I'm at, where, you know, I am not compliant or cooperative with, you know, any official government thing unless I can tell it's given from truth. I'm not compliant, I'm not cooperative. I don't believe the narratives that are being told. I'm unplugged from the matrix. And I'm doing whatever I can to assist others to unplug from the matrix. And I think it'll take about 10% of us that are unplugged from the matrix to a point where, and we may already be pretty close to that. Because if some of the things you can see, there's been a massive amount of what I'd say mind control, dark agenda that has been pushing you to do things you don't need to do that aren't actually good for you. You know, you've been pushed, coerced, mandated, forced, and the compliance is still pretty low. I mean, you have the majority that are compliant, but there's a big non-compliant minority, and that to me is a sign that good is triumphing. You shouldn't ever just be doing things, because evil works through telling you what you have to do and making you afraid if you don't do it. That's how evil energy works. And good energy works through you do something out of love, out of kindness, out of consideration and service for others. You're like, well, I want to do this stream today because I might help somebody else realize they're not crazy. That you are in a control matrix that tries to make you think certain things and make you feel crazy if you don't agree with it, or make you feel wrong or ashamed and afraid if you don't do what you're told. So in that scenario, when enough of us get where we're unplugged from the matrix, and we're getting close, what's interesting to me is both agendas appear to be getting close and constantly battling back and forth. So we appear to be getting close to a day of disclosure one way or another, where it's you know, evil narrative of aliens are here, they're evil, we need to fight them, you need to go in the military, we're gonna start a draft again. If that happens, I just want to be like, told you so. And that'll be a lie too. That will not be the truth. The truth is that there's, you know, we're in the middle of a war, and whatever side is drafting is the side that you would want to defeat. That's the Empire. So we're coming towards the day of disclosure one way or another, where there's evil, where there's either a, you know, evil controlled narrative where you're gonna be forced to do things you don't want to do, or where it's gonna be like, hey, there's these friendly extraterrestrials that are here to help us, because so many of us from the population have summoned them. You know, there's these friendly extraterrestrials that are gonna help us transition our planet from what it is now to more of a Star Trek style future. So that's how I see it. And of course, this is just Jerry's world you're in right now. I have not seen an alien firsthand myself. I've heard a lot of people that I believe who have seen them and who shared their experiences, who risked their life to share their experiences, who've been called crazy, lost jobs, been threatened to share their experiences. I believe them. But then again, this is just Jerry's world, though. It's not necessarily the whole truth. And that's why I'm really comfortable. You know, I love knowing that I can share and I can talk and have fun with these ideas, but that doesn't mean that's the only way to look at it.
With little hope of a peaceful settlement.
Michael says, "You speak truth. Bless you, Light Warrior." Hey, thank you. That's what I'm here for, is to power up my fellow Light Warriors. You know, to me, and it was real obvious, like with the things that happened in the last couple of years. I'm like, this is a spiritual battleground. This is a battle we're in. This is not just like, you know, it's not something casual just laying around. I mean, it is fun. On a spiritual level, it is fun. It's not something awful. It's fun fighting evil. And, you know, sometimes I probably incarnate as evil just for fun. And it's kind of like a, you know, if you look at some of these movies, there's actors that play the bad guys. Well, they're not evil people. They're just playing the actor to make the movie interesting and to put on a good show for you. So what I'm really doing is helping strengthen and recruit Light Warriors in the battle of good versus evil. In the battle, you know, and I want you to know what it feels like, and to help you appraise what side you're on. If you get joy out of oppressing and controlling and hurting people, well, you're probably not watching my stream. And you can switch sides too. I definitely, there's a lot of subtle satanistic stuff. Like, I used to love the song, still like the song Shepherd of Fire, and to me that's a song praising the devil. That's the song where you know, like the devil's anthem right there. You can switch sides too. At various points in my life, I would say I was on the other side. And you'll know which side you're on by how it feels. If you're on the light side, it feels like being in the rebellion in Star Wars. It feels good, but it can feel hopeless sometimes. And Star Wars is based on the truth. Adam says the elites who want to have all the money and power is who we should be fighting against. Exactly, and the strategy that I see that's used, the goal is to keep people fighting with each other. That's why it's very important. Do not participate or pay any attention to any of those media battles. Withdraw all of your passion. For example, the media has all these battle lines drawn, and the real purpose is to keep people fighting. Like Republican or Democrat, doesn't matter at all. The elite or the devil, or however you want to look at it, can control either party just as easily. In all these specific debates, like, you know, abortion, minority rights, like all these things are actually presented in a way that is, the real purpose is to get people separated. And because if you have a civilization based on truth and equality,
Those giant buttons on
then
top
you
of
don't
the
have to worry about
electricity
anything else. Like, there's no discrimination or racism in a society that's based on
Too
truth
many
and
codes.
equality.
I need to destroy these
I mean-
trading pods.
There's none. There's no discrimination. Everybody is loved and appreciated and equal. So if you're seeing some news, the purpose of these news stories is to actually get you upset and get you to believe that, you know, we need to fight things like racism. We need to fight things like gender discrimination. No, we need to stand up for light and love and understand that all of these things are a function of the same evil. It's the evil of, you know, it's the evil of hating others and separation. Like, it's the same evil that does everything. There's only one evil. It's not like, you know, it's a basic trap. The trap is to get you to think that women or men are evil, you know, men are bad. You know, they get you to think whites are bad or whatever it is, or police are bad. The real goal with all of that is to keep people fighting and distracted, because people who are fighting with each other and distracted are weak. Whereas, you know, you don't even pay attention to this stuff. And you focus on the real battle is good versus evil. Love versus hate. You know, equality versus inequality. And some of these things work well to get people stirred up, because when you see some of these things happen, it triggers the real thing in you. Like, you are disgusted at the inequality of the world. But the inequality of the world is perpetuated by those who seek to get you disgusted about it. And the real solution is to turn to your highest self, your highest power. Make sure you love everybody equally in the world. Like, getting mad about things you see in the world will not make them better. It actually reinforces it. Like, I saw there was a Black Lives Matter rally when I was doing yoga one night, and the whole, you know, the energy was completely negative there. It was all talking about, you know, who's done wrong and who's, you know, why people are bad. And I'm like, that's not if you truly care about Black lives, what you need is an energy of love and compassion and understanding and acceptance. You're not going to help by an energy of hate and intolerance and criticism. You'll help by love and and even understanding, like, hey, this is how hate happens. People get tricked. And I was able to have love and compassion for them. Like, I get why people are out there. I probably would have been out there in my 20s when I was in college, but, you know, instead I'm doing yoga and doing what I can to love and accept and understand everybody. We did not destroy all these. And I even look at that in video games too. Like, there's a lot of video games are promoting, you know, you hear a lot of the gameplay, and I've done it myself, where you're criticizing and yelling at your opponents and cursing your opponents. Like, that's the same kind of energy too. Like, of putting down your opponents instead of realizing, you know, you chose to play a competitive game, and it really should be in an environment of fun. But that said, this life is supposed to be interesting and entertaining, and, you know, to me, the real transcendent experience is to realize good and evil actually make things interesting. That you're not really fighting evil, you're focusing and choosing good. Like, that evil is not actually bad, that you essentially need evil to make an interesting world. Because you'd be looking at a real boring world. You'd be looking at a real boring world if it, you know, if there was no evil. Evil makes things interesting. And you're not even really, if you're on the light side, to me, you're not as much fighting evil as having love and compassion and understanding for evil. Like, the reason people do things, like, the reason people hate and are things like racist and sexist, and the reason for that is a lack of connection with others. Because someone who's connected with others will not do those things or feel that way. Someone who feels separated, isolated, alone, and ashamed is prone to any kind of evil. And the kind of evil doesn't really matter that much. Michael says, you start vibrating yet? Yeah, I'm excited. I am exploring, like, what powers do I have? You know, what? I hear that we're going to ascend to a point where we even are able to do things like teleport and levitate without technology. What's up, Brandon? I appreciate you being here on YouTube. Pharaoh, what's up on YouTube? Risha, nice to see you on YouTube. I do not smoke at all, nope, and one thing our culture does is convince us we need things outside of us, that we are weak without our doctor, we're weak without our alcohol, that we need our doctor to be healthy. We need our drug dealer or our pharmacist or our liquor store man, our barmaid, that we need that alcohol or drugs to feel good and have amazing experiences. To me, that's more of the evil programming. The goal is to distract you and actually oppress you from your true abilities. You don't need all that stuff. You don't need alcohol or drugs to get you high or to help you relax. You don't need your doctor to heal you. Now, if you believe you need your doctor to heal you, then you need your doctor to heal you, at least until you change your beliefs. And sure, there are some scenarios where doctors can help you, but there's other scenarios where the doctors are going to make things worse. Medical errors are the third leading cause of death. Your doctor is one of the most likely people to kill you. I mean, that's just facts right there. Your doctor and, surgeon, they're the most likely person to kill you. And while medical errors are tracked, medical errors are only tracked if they directly cause death. There's lots of other medical errors that are not directly tracked, that result from surgeries that don't even count towards medical errors. Your doctors, I encourage you to learn how to heal yourself and be your own doctor. And it's not profitable to tell you that, though, is it? You would say get the audiobook? You should check out Lost Books of the Bible. Thank you for the suggestion. I love book recommendations. I've heard that there were several books of the Bible that were taken out because it disrupted the church's fear and control narrative. Nah, there's the only comment that can harm someone is if, someone who doesn't believe me will not be able to be harmed. Like someone who says, that's crap, that won't be able to harm anybody. And if someone does believe me, it encourages exploration and open-mindedness. I think it's very good to hear ideas we don't usually hear, because our system is so programmed one direction that, your doctor's here to help you. Well, maybe they're not. Maybe your doctor is going to be the one that kills you. I think lots of times we can actually get much worse. I'm so glad I have been hesitant to go to the doctor for most of my life, because I realize the doctor can actually kind of curse you. Like the way you'd think of a witch doctor. Like, my dad went to the doctor and they told him he had this disease and he believed it and he died within a year. And I wonder, if he had never been to the doctor and nobody had told him that he had a disease, what would his life been like? I mean, in some ways, our medical system has been turned into this evil profit system where it actually keeps people sick and doesn't offer real treatment. You get diagnosed with all these things wrong with you. You get these drugs that actually make things worse. And I'm like, who is running this thing? Like, I see that the goal of it is our healthcare system is more of a sickness and profit system. I do anything I can to avoid going to the doctor. My wife is adamant she wants health insurance. I disagree with having health insurance. I don't think that is something that, I don't believe in having health insurance. I believe you should take care of yourself proactively and preventatively. Look at your diet, look at your lifestyle, and focus on your own natural healing abilities, and you're almost never going to have anything that will merit going to the doctor. And there's doctors out there that have put out books like Mind Over Medicine that show how powerful your mind is at healing. And that show you how important it is to work on your lifestyle and take responsibility for your own health instead of letting the medical system take responsibility. But here's the thing, though, that I've got friends and family members that I'm essentially only talking to people who agree with me, because I have friends and family members that are totally programmed according to the
Use a sled to get across this toxic sludge.
according to the mainstream programming, and nothing I say makes any difference to them. They don't care. They don't believe it. Like, no, I go to my doctor helps me get better. Even though they stay sick all the time, they refuse to believe any of the ideas I share either. So I can't harm anybody who is, you know, fully entrenched in that belief.
Use a sled to get across this toxic
I can only
sludge.
help somebody with what I say who is on board. Like somebody who already is thinking what I'm thinking and just needs a little more reinforcement, a little more encouragement. And the whole movement in our society about, ooh, don't offend people, don't say the wrong thing, like that is a censorship, and that is the evil oppression right there.
I'll use a sled
The
to get
idea
across
that,
this toxic
you know, you
sludge.
should basically keep certain opinions to yourself because they might hurt people, like that's evil. That's not free speech, that's evil. That if you don't think this one way, you're hurting people by saying something differently. Like that's evil. And our system is rigged with the evil programming. It encourages us to talk one specific direction, and if you don't talk that direction, you're wrong, you're hurting people, you're crazy. And I'm encouraging those of you who have an openness to thinking differently to go further into it.
I'll use a sled to get
Accidents
across
do
this
happen, but
toxic
you can heal yourself. It's possible. Now, this is where you need to be aware of your own beliefs. It's possible. I read a book by Joe Dispenza where he got hit by a car at 50 miles an hour. He broke his back in several places. The doctors told him he needed to have surgery and have rods in his back, and he might never walk again. And if he didn't take their surgery, he was looking at being paralyzed the rest of his life. He was a chiropractor. He still is a chiropractor. He had just became a chiropractor. And he told the doctors, no, I don't want that surgery. I refuse to accept a life where I might not be able to walk again and where I'm going to be in pain because of these rods in my back my entire life. No, I will not do that surgery. And he was the first person ever to refuse that surgery. He went home, laid on his couch, or like, you know, he had some kind of a bed or something he laid in, and he focused night and day. He said he focused on healing himself. He as a chiropractor, he knew what healthy back, you know, what healthy vertebrae should look like. He focused night and day, all day, every day, praying to his creator to be healed, and thinking about exactly what his back should look like, and picturing every disc. And he said he'd focus and meditate on one disc at a time, and then he'd go do the second disc, and if he got distracted on the second disc, he'd go back and do the first disc again, and he would relentlessly picture exactly what his back should look like. And he said in 9 weeks, his back completely fixed itself with no surgery, no rods, no paralysis. And he said he was able to walk back into his life, and he's had hardly any back pain. He's been free from back pain since then. That's a normal function. That's a normal healing process that our bodies can go through. But we have been conditioned to not know that. We've been conditioned to believe that we're basically helpless. That, you know, if we don't have our surgery, then our body can't fix itself.
It appears I must
that we're,
slide through each of these
you
slots
know, our
to
bodies
activate
basically
security
grow and as a kid, and then, you know, we've been encouraged to forget about our natural healing, that our body naturally fixes and heals itself all the time. And so there's a person, a doctor, who has a very clear self-healing story from a severe injury. And there's lots more stories of that out there. There's stories of people who've cured themselves from cancer with all-natural alternative means. But the majority of doctors never even suggest that, because here's the thing, if the doctor is conditioned to operate a certain way, and the way they're conditioned is based on what's profitable, because the system has set that up. So the doctor's conditioned to suggest certain treatments. Not every doctor, but collectively the system is set up. Some doctors, you know, do care so much about their patients, have done their own research that, you know, they'll go tell a patient to change their diet, go get some alternative therapies and not do chemotherapy. But you see, if the doctor does that, that's not good for business, is it? Chemotherapy is good for business. Why even tell a patient that? I mean, imagine this. You tell your patient, okay, you can do two things. You can do chemotherapy, which is going to make us plenty of money. Or you can change your diet. You can start getting massages. You can get a counselor or go to a support group and talk through the issues that have contributed to manifesting this. You could take responsibility for this situation, figure out what you can learn from it. You can pray to your creator to be restored. And, you know, using either of these methods, you can be completely cured. Now, which one do you think most people are going to accept? Like, I'll take the key. If you were offered those two alternatives side by side, almost nobody would choose the chemotherapy. Which is why, in the interest of good business, you can't be offered chemotherapy, or you can't be offered these natural alternatives in your own body's healing power by the very person you trust to give you the best information about a certain subject. That's why you need people like me. You need people like me here to help open your mind. And somebody who totally doesn't believe or agree with anything I say, they won't be affected at all by what I've said, because they'll think it's just a bunch of crap. But I'm here to talk to the open-minded people that, you know, when you get your cancer, I don't even believe in going for screenings. I think if you don't want to find something, you shouldn't look for it. I think I preventively and proactively take care of myself. There's absolutely no need for me to have a cancer screening. Hell no, I'm not going in ever. I have no intention ever of going in for a prostate exam. I found a lump on my testicle and I'm like, I'm definitely not going to the doctor to talk about this. Because the last thing I want is more attention and focus on this. The last thing I want some doctor trying to cut into my balls and play around with this lump on it. No. I'd rather trust my body, heal itself, and not even pay attention to this. And that's exactly what happened. So I personally think I have healed myself from what could have been harmless or it could have been cancer, but I personally have experience with it. And you need to have an option. You need to know. You can go to your... There's lots of people who've gotten very good treatments from their doctor that have helped them. If you believe that it's going to help you, it'll help you. If you don't believe it's going to help you, it won't. And some of you are very skeptical, but you don't know what else to do. Sean says it's all about the money. Well, the money is a control system. So yeah, the whole medical system is set up to make money, which is insane. Everything the medical... Now, that said, there are rebels, like my uncle. My uncle's a doctor, and this is why I never say... Don't say people are bad. You know, I don't say any one doctor is bad. People are just doing what they're conditioned to do, what they've been trained to do. And most doctors are trained by a system that prioritizes profit. However, my uncle is a general practitioner, and my uncle said on every single first visit, he gives his patients a book called How Not to Die, which is written by a doctor who shares very strong research and evidence that you can prevent all 15 top causes of death through your diet alone. Your diet alone can assist you in preventing all 15 top causes of death, and this is based on proven, medical research. And he gives and he gave me that book, and that's why I switched to a whole plant vegan diet. And my blood pressures went down. I've seen the results myself. Most doctors are not gonna do that though, because he's essentially costing himself business in the future. Because people are following that, and then they're getting healthier, and they don't need to come back and see him. Hey, Joseph, thank you for the 100 stars, Joseph. You want to see some Lego Indiana Jones? I need to try some Lego Indiana Jones. I haven't seen that yet. Brandon says, take off your shirt. Maybe I will. It's getting hot in here. Hey, I love you too on YouTube. Thanks for watching. I do my live streams to share this information because, you seeing me win a game doesn't mean anything in your life. But you hear something that makes a big difference on here, and only somebody who's open is going to hear stuff. I see some of the comments, people are like, shut up, just play the game. I'm like, that person's not open to hearing what I have to say right now, and that's okay. That person is still helping other people who are open to it find it. I just want everybody who is open to what I have to share to be able to get a hold of it, And this is not a place for constructive criticism either. This is a place where we love and help and support each other. We've got all kinds of narratives. There's constructive criticism is just what it's called, criticism. We don't do criticism here. If you've got something useful, I obviously know the counterpoint to everything I'm saying. I realize how every argument I say could be picked apart. I've got a wife that does that for me. And I've got all kinds of, TV shows, and, I realize the counter argument to what I'm saying. And I don't proclaim that everything I say is true and accurate either. I mean, I'm playing video games and just talking right now. I don't have any medical training out. I've trained myself to be my own doctor, and I'll tell you what I do have. I'm in better health than most doctors are. So I'm not a medical doctor. I do have results that you might want, though. In fact, doctors are often as sick as the patients because the doctors are surrounded and, doctors are enmeshed in their own system. I love doctors, though. I love all people. Our healthcare system is something that, the doctors are stressed out and sick, and they're as much of a victim of the system. Again, it all goes back to good versus evil. The doctors, the health insurance companies, all the people, the hospitals, nursing staff, like they're in a system that, while the overt purpose may be good, it often delivers evil results. It delivers more sickness than health. It delivers more profit.
Excellent. Ricochet walls plus ray gun equals fun.
That's why it's all about getting into your, where's your energy. I hope just, if somebody can be helped by this, that's great. What's up, Jonathan? Nice to see you today. I see you playing the Switch sometimes. I almost never game offline because, if I'm offline, I want to be hanging out with my family. Alright, so one of the books I read by a medical doctor that speaks really clearly about natural healing, it says that the community and connections you have with people are so powerful that the effect from being in a strong, supportive community is stronger than diet and, negative lifestyle choices like drinking and smoking combined. So basically that being in a very strong community of people who are supportive, who love you, is one of the very best things you can do with your health. By contrast, one of the very worst things you can do with your health is be very isolated, lonely, and disconnected from people. And much of our mainstream media is actually, it's trying to get you disconnected. I mean, look at over the last 2 years, you got people afraid to hug each other. I'm talking to this woman walking her dog today that I know, and all she's talking about safety. She's talking about staying home, keeping you safe. Now, I'll tell you, according to the doctor's book I read, if you really want, the most likely way you're gonna die is from disease. And the best way to prevent death from disease is to be in a very strong, loving, supportive community. Therefore, if you are being isolated, that is one of the worst possible things that can happen for your health. And the way I look at it, you could see the dark influence wants you to feel alone. The dark influence wants you to feel isolated, because alone you are weak. Alone you are easily lied to and manipulated. As a member of a community, you are strong. And you need a diverse community too. You need people that think differently, that act differently, that look differently, because each diverse point of view helps with your perspective. And that's why I love going to Alcoholics Anonymous most days. It gives me a sense of community. And community and fellowship is one of the things you really need to be healthy. And this is a book written by a medical doctor who went through the system of, essentially churn out patients and profit, got sick of it, quit being a doctor, and then felt a call to come back to being a doctor in the context of, how can she actually really help her patients and make a difference and not just be showing up basically like a drone, who's showing up to work. So I got love for everybody. I got love for doctors, garbage men, CEOs. We're all involved in the same struggle of good versus evil. I got love for all the evil people too. Everyone who's made a decision to be evil and hurt people and focus on their own material success at the expense of others, I got love for them too, because they make this thing interesting. There'd be no Star Wars movie without Darth Vader. And Darth Vader gets all this media, Darth Vader's out there. Darth Vader is a killer of men and women and children. Darth Vader is a mass murderer. What's up, Brian? Nice to see you today. Thanks for popping in. All right, anybody else here? Any other things you'd like me to chat about before we wrap up here? This Family Guy game is pretty challenging sometimes. My car off says, why you stop playing Warzone? Because seems viewers, the main thing you all want me to play are these kind of games. Like, I play a game like this, it gets a lot more views than Warzone. And I imagine if I just stuck to playing the game and didn't talk about any of this stuff, I might get a lot more views in the short term. There's people who watch, that they hear some of the stuff I'm talking about, and they're not on that wavelength, and they stop watching because, I can't stand to listen to this guy talk about this stuff. And that's okay, because I'm not here to get famous, make a bunch of money. I'm here to help people, and, I'm here to convert and support my fellow rebels in the rebellion against tyranny and oppression and evil. That's what I'm here to do. And my question is, do you know what you're here to do? Dang, I'm getting slayed on this. Now, I'm not saying that you don't want any time by yourself. Time by yourself definitely helps you figure things out. But what I'm saying is, normally, most of the time, you want to be around people who love you and care about you. If you want to be at your full strength and your full power, you want to be part and around people who love you and care about you. And if you are, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in person, although in person is a lot better. And you want to be around, if you're a soldier of light, you want to be around other soldiers of light who are on the same mission. Lawler the Baller, TTV, nice to see you. Yeah, I'm live on Facebook right now.
Plus ray gun equals fun for Stewie.
Yeah, so it's not all about isolation. To me is, do you feel consistently connected all the time to people who love you? I'm not saying you can't, you know, I like being kind of alone in this office here with the chat. But what's most important is that you feel very connected and loved. That's where you get to really be strong. When you always feel connected to a higher power, to other people, that's where you're getting these huge health benefits. And that's usually, to make that happen, you need to spend most of your waking hours with other people who love you and care about you. That's generally the easiest way for it to happen. If you're, and you want to be thinking about other people too. Like if you're just thinking about yourself and what you want, you know, that's allowing the devil to work on you, as I found firsthand. You know, the devil works through my own selfishness and self-centeredness.
The armor on those turrets is too thick. I will need to destroy them from the inside.
Ooh, I one-shotted that. Nice. So I'm saying you want to be very connected with, you want to feel like you're loved, like you're understood, like people really know you. And you want to be around, I would say, for me, what really helps is to have about 100 to 150 people I see every week that I feel very loved and connected and supported by. And I see the majority of them I see at AA meetings. But you can achieve the same effect by playing with somebody in a game. You know, talking with somebody on the phone. It'll be easiest in person, but you can achieve the same effect otherwise. Oh, this is cool. Alright, we'll see if we can wrap this level up. Or if we die again, we'll wrap the stream up, because I'm planning to go visit my friend in Orlando today. And my goal with everything I share is just to help open your mind up to possibilities. I am not... What I love, if you're serving the light side, it is all about equality, humility, and connection. Like, I don't have any more answers than you have. I've read a lot of books, I can share a lot of unique experiences, but so can other people. Like, I'm not any more less important than anybody else. To me, if you're serving the light, you feel like an equal with everyone else and everything else. That to me is an indicator if you're serving the dark, there's always someone higher, there's always something higher. You never have enough. And you gotta compete, you gotta beat other people. To me, that's what it's like serving the dark. And again, both are worthwhile to serve. And you can change at any time. I've served my share of the dark in this lifetime. I've spent a lot of time serving myself. I've spent time harming others in one way or another. I've spent a lot of time competing. And that's one thing it helps you know, like, what does it feel like to serve one side or the other? I mean, in the greatest sense, there aren't even sides. It's just it's a little game we're playing. Just like Family Guy is a game we're playing, this whole existence is kind of a little game we're playing. Yeah, this game is awesome. Imagine Jerry yelling, "I finally freed the nips." There we go, let's crush these guys. Yeah, I'm glad you're on Twitch, Lawler the baller. Appreciate you chatting for the first time. So you keep saying the light, are you talking about God? You could call it God's. What's been challenging is people have misused God so much that often you say God, people think of more of an image of the devil than God. Like you think of a God who's controlling you and telling you what to do. But to me, the true God, the true creator, doesn't tell you what to do, doesn't give you orders, doesn't boss you around. To me, the real God that Jesus was talking about is within. It's who you really are. You know, it's love. It's a feeling of love. It's a feeling of oneness and connection. And the God we're told of, especially in like the Old Testament, is more of a description of an extraterrestrial that probably was more guided by Satan light and love. That's how I look at it. And you're in Jerry's world today, so this is Jerry's world we're in here. Hey, Rohit, nice to see you. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Yeah, if it helps you to call it God, then sure. You know, I think of it like that sometimes. But other times it's more helpful to just be generic, like, you know, the creator, the universe, light. Ah, how do I get up here? There we go. You know, sometimes that genericness makes it a little more palatable for the masses too, because sometimes when you start talking about God, people just glaze over. Like, all right, nah, I'm not doing this God conversation. You know, since some of us...
Damn my small stature! Oh, if I were big, just think where I would be.
Yeah, some of us, as soon as we hear God, we're like, nah, I don't want any part of that. And to me, that's one way that the devil essentially conditions you, is to me, the religions have actually been conditioned. And this is what's cool, is how everything can be used either for good or for, you know, either way. A lot of the religions have been used to condition people into seeking the devil. And at the same time, you can use the religions as a path to light or to God as well. Which, that to me, when you've got that dichotomy, makes life so fun. You know, that you can use Christianity to find your highest self, to be connected, to be loving and kind to all, or you can use Christianity to feel miserable and be afraid and, you know, seek the devil, essentially. Where the devil is your release from the pain of Christianity. Well, those are my thoughts. Obviously, and everything here is just my thoughts. You know, what's fake to me is people saying that they're absolutely right about stuff. Like, oh, this is how it is. And anything else that you say is wrong. Like, that's fake to me. I realize different strokes for different folks. What I might say might not work for some of you at all. It might... You know, yeah, I realize that I can be full of crap. And that I change ideas often. But I think that's healthy also. Wow, this thing is serious. Holy cow, this is a serious level right here. Dang, you gotta get this thing right in the hole. Dang, it stroked me! Hey, thanks a lot, Michael. Appreciate you being here. Is it last checkpoint? Oh my god. Alright, let's I think we'll quit. We'll quit out now and end this stream, my friends. We had a great time here. Had a conversation I hope was inspiring. Hope to help you open up. Oh, you're in... What kind of... Oh, you're a 30-day... Nice! I love that if you end up on a ban on Facebook, if you ever get banned from chatting on Facebook, I'm live most of the time on YouTube and Twitch. And if you're ever on a ban where you can't chat, you can come hang out on YouTube and Twitch also. Now, I'll do some Facebook exclusive, but... Alright. Thanks for a fantastic stream today. Asidin Tabarnak says, I enjoy your speech more than the game. Well, that's why I do the gameplay. The gameplay is really to do the speech. Because many of you, if I just did the speech, you wouldn't listen to that at all. But the gameplay, you know, the gameplay draws people in who are receptive to hearing the speech. And to me, I've done that in consideration with, there are so many people who've already put out great videos and whole books on the things I'm talking about. What hardly anybody does is play video games and talk about this stuff. So I'll end the stream on YouTube and Twitch, and we'll wrap it up on TikTok, and we'll find somebody to raid as well.